Good morning and welcome back. We're just a week out from confirmation hearings for President Trump's second Supreme Court nominee. Now, Democrats vowing to block Brett Kavanaugh are worried one of their own might be on the fence. Doug Luzader is live in Washington, D.C. this morning with the Supreme Court showdown. Good morning, Doug.
And Jackie, good morning. Democrats and activists on the left are still hoping to block the confirmation of Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
We are pro-choice. We are pro-Constitution. We do not believe that Kavanaugh is a good pick, and we're lifting up our voices with the people.
Protests over the weekend to keep this issue on the front burner and to build pressure on Democrats in the Senate. But the momentum to confirm Kavanaugh may be building. So far, he's met with more than 60 senators, including at least a dozen Democrats, despite some refusing to sit down with him. Now, all of this will lead up to confirmation hearings beginning September 4th here on Capitol Hill. And look, a lot of Senate Democrats are under a lot of pressure from activists to declare their opposition even before some of them even meet with Kavanaugh. And one Democrat who's under a lot of pressure right now is Virginia's Tim Kaine, who is still technically on the fence. And Jackie, he is feeling a lot of heat because of that. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Doug. We appreciate it. I'll take it from here. The Democrats overhauling the controversial superdelegate system ahead of 2020 as fallout from Hillary Clinton's nomination. There was some fallout there, continues to haunt the party.
Making sure that at the end of the day, when the process is done to select the Democratic nominee, that they feel like their candidate got a fair shake.
All right, so what does this mean for elections going forward for the Democrats? Joining us now to debate that is GOP strategist Aaron Elmore and Democratic strategist Antoine Seawright. So, guys, superdelegates are these delegates that are in the process of choosing the candidate for the party. They don't have to make any decision based on the way that their state voted. They can kind of do whatever they want. The Democrats want to reel in some of their power and make it so that the will of the people, as I understand it, is more important in the selection of the candidate. Antoine, it's your party doing this. What do you think of the decision?
Well, I commend the leadership of the DNC for what they were able to do over the weekend. And while some in the media want to harp on one aspect of what happened on Saturday, but it was a package deal of sweeping reform that I think was probably overdue in our party. We expanded the opportunities for people to vote in person in caucuses. We made access to the ballot more accessible for young people, military, college students. We also made it easier for those who participate in caucuses. If you cannot be at a caucus to show up, you can actually vote absentee. And so there was sweeping reform on Saturday, and I think it was well needed.
Yeah, and caucuses are also where people go to help choose the candidate for their party, and you usually had to be there. And it sounds like now you don't have to be there to make your case, to make your vote. Aaron, what did you think of the changes, and do you see any downside for the Democratic Party?
Plenty of downside, but I will say this. Congratulations to the Democratic Party for actually embracing democratic values. They are believing in the will of the people instead of the top-down, bottom-up, lockstep approach that got Hillary Clinton the nomination in 2016. And the beauty of this is this is what the Democrats want. And if you poll Democrats, this is what they want, a socialist. And that's likely what they're going to get. They're going to get an Elizabeth Warren. They're going to get a Bernie Sanders. But if you poll the greater America, Democrats, independents, and Republicans, they don't want that. They want someone with traditional American values that believes in safe borders and the values that our country was founded upon. So this strategy is not a winning strategy on a national level. Within the party, win within the party, though.
Aaron, you're so far off on Pluto. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Thank you.
Hillary Clinton won the nomination because millions of people around the country showed up in the primary process to help her be elected. And the democratic process by which we reformed this weekend had nothing to do with how Hillary Clinton won the nomination.
Let me jump in because there was some conjecture over whether or not Hillary got this the right way, and a lot of people thought Bernie Sanders deserved the nomination.
But if you do
look at the numbers, even without the superdelegates, Hillary Clinton Clinton still had it. She still had the nomination.
I love to hear people like Aaron, who from the outside looking in, telling us about the democratic process. Look, you're basically wrong, and you should probably try to stick with the Republican values. What is happening around the country is that the Democratic Party is expanding. We're going through some growing pains. Millions of people have decided, we made a big mistake in the 2016 election, so our party has to embrace the new people who are coming under the big tent.
Aaron, how do you think, you believe that Bernie Sanders was shortchanged in 2016? How do you think that occurred? Tell us your case.
I don't necessarily think that he was shortchanged. I think it is the belief of many Democrats, and Bernie himself has indicated that he felt that way. So this is not conjecture on my part at all. It's just...
well, the numbers don't lie. Rob just mentioned it.
I gave you your turn. Please allow me to speak as well. Thank you very much. But the numbers, were pretty accurate, and I'm just going on what he said himself. Therefore, this is the process that changed, and this is the will of the Democratic people, and therefore the party embraced it. So kudos to you for embracing those democratic values. However, how is it going to turn out at the polls? And I say not so good for Democrats.
Antoine, what do you think?
I will just fire back and tell you you're fundamentally wrong.
TBD, right? TBD.
People are coming in waves to the Democratic Party. Republicans and independents who actually did the wrong thing in 2016 are coming. And what they realize that friends cannot let friends vote for the Republican Party in November.
I don't know what kind of friends you have, but mine don't see it that way.
All right. Well, they're saying that it should make fringe candidates give them a better shot at getting something like a nomination, which would be the socialist type candidates as well. So we'll see how this all plays out, and whether or not it
runs smoother,
and whether or not it inspires the base of the Democratic Party to come out and vote. We shall see. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Jackie, over to you.
All right, the time is now about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. The Confederate statue violent rioters tore down, maybe going right back up. The law protesters trying to erase history forgot to check. Don't go anywhere.
People try to put us to down. Talking about my generation. Just because we